Hello everyone, it is Bren with Addicted to Cricut. I am bringing you another beginner tutorial. It may not seem like it's a beginner when you look at it, but once I show you how to do it, you're going to realize it really is a beginner. So we're going to learn how to make a lovely split letter monogram just like this, using free fonts and your Cricut. Easy. I am using a font called, and I downloaded this from dafont.com. It's called VTKS Dear Love. That's this one. Okay. Let me see. I've got it over here. I tried several of these. These all worked, but this was the one that I'm going to show you. I think the S is also that, but the L is not. The L may be Hugs and Kisses, but you can use any font you want. Now, while I'm talking about this, these four over here, I got on Cricut Design Space. They're already made for you. They're already split for you. And if you like them, then go ahead and use them and cut them. But I'm going to show you how to take any letter of any font and make it a split letter monogram. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is start with the letter. And I'm going to go ahead and just use an M so that you can see how this is going to transform. So I'm going to make it bigger so that I can play with it. And I'm going to come up here to the font box where it's pulled down. And right here in the search box, I'm going to put in it's VTKS, and here it pops up for me. Okay. So there is my M. Now, if you don't have this, go over to Dafont, type in this, and it should come up, and you should be able to download it. Once you've downloaded it, you will need to reload the Control R, reload your Cricut Design Space, so that it then gets the font into its list. Okay, so then it'll be in this list. Okay, so once we have that done, then we have to kind of figure out where we want the split. And it's just whatever you want. I just eyeball it. So grab a square under the shapes. I unlock it, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Whoops. Nope, didn't want to move my M. And I'm going to pull it down. And kind of figure out where I want this split to be. I don't really want to cut into this. I don't mind cutting into this, but you know, it kind of is above that. But I think I want to cut above that little mark there too. So it looks like my split's going to be right there. Now, I could split this with just a thin line, but then my letter M would still be together. And sometimes I want to make that space between the letters a little bit bigger. So I use the square. Once you have it where you want it, click out of it and then click the whole thing. Okay, and that puts them all together. Actually, if you look over here on the right hand side of your screen, both the letter and the box are in gray. That means that they're together. They're linked together just for the moment, because if I click out of it, they're not anymore. But if I put my box around them, then it highlights them. So now we're going to come all the way to the bottom on the right hand side, and we're going to choose Slice. One thing I need to tell you here is that Slice works beautifully, but it only works on two objects. So for instance, I have a group here. It would not work on a group. I would have to weld that. But these are just two. One, two layers. That's all we've got. So go ahead and click Slice. Now we can start pulling apart our pieces. And for some reason, Slice always slices in 3 pieces. I don't know why. So we don't want that one. We don't want this light gray one. But we do want this one. But look at there, how pretty it is. Now we can make it as big or as little as we want, okay? We just kind of have to try and keep it lined up. Okay, so that's really pretty. Now what do? We go back over to shapes one more time, grab a square, Once again, we're going to unlock it. And now we're going to make it thin and a little bit longer. And we're going to figure out where we want our bars to kind of frame it and how long we want them. Okay, if I make that way, I want to pull this down a little bit more. Now all I'm going to do is click on that bar one more time. I may want my bar to be a little bit wider. I'm going to click on that bar one more time, and I'm going to come up here under duplicate, and I'm going to grab it. So now it's exactly the same size. I just need to line it up. Now, once we get this done, hold on, that looks pretty good. Once we get this done, we may decide that this area in between is not big enough. Well, before you touch it, let's go ahead and weld these two pieces together. So click on the bar and then click your shift key and click on the top. Now come down and weld those. Now they're one piece and we can move them around. So let's do the same thing. Click on the bar, press on your shift key and click on the bottom part of the letter, and we're going to weld that. Now we can make that as big, as wide as we want, okay? So to get the name in there, I'm trying to line it up. Okay. To get the name in there, we just go and we type it in. So I typed in Morgan, but obviously I do not want it to be the same font. So my go-to font is Air Julian, and you do not have to use this. I unlock it and kind of size it, and I like it to take up pretty much the whole time of the whole space. Okay, there it is. It's completely done. I told you that was fast and quick. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your box around it and you're going to weld it. And it is ready to cut. It is one piece. You can cut it out any color that you want, but you are ready to go. So now let's go over here, and I have these grouped together. I'm going to ungroup them. And let's just take one of these. Let's take the B, press on it, and let's take it over here and work on it. So you can take one that's already made and in Cricut design. Let's move this out of the way. And you can use that. Okay. I actually found this by just pulling up, when I went to images, I just typed in B, the letter B, and hit enter. And it brought up all kinds of B's, all kinds of B's. And I just scrolled down. I tried searching for split letter B, and it didn't give them to me, not all of them. And so I just went ahead and did it that way. So let's cancel out of here. We don't want that. So now all you need to do is to put your name in there. Let's write some text. Let's write Bren. And once again, I've got it in my Air Julian just because I kind of like that. Okay, there you go. That's it, you guys. Now I have made a few of these, and I will put, instead of the last name in here, I will put a couple's name. Okay, so I have one that's for me and my husband, Marvin. And it says Bren and Marvin. And then underneath, down here, it'll have our last name. So that's a cute idea too, right? Okay, so now I've given you tons of ideas. You can take any letters that you want. All of these were free. This is just the Air Julian so that you could see it. All of these were free on DaFont. Here are the names of them right here. And these, of course, were free on Cricut Design Space. Now, I do have to warn you that I do have Cricut Access because so few of the designs are free without the Cricut Access. So I do have that. So if you go over there and you don't have Cricut Access and you go into images, your selection for your split letters may be much, much, much less. I'm just warning you. In case you want to try Cricut Access, if you haven't already tried it, I will put a link in down below so that you can try it. I think there's like 30 days maybe trial, I'm not sure. But I'll put the link in it so you can go and check it out and see all about it. I have a blog post, and I'll put the link to that, which gives kind of the pros and cons. Okay, that's it. You guys go have some fun and go make some beautiful split lettered monograms with your Cricut.